All right, awesome. Well, welcome to the 2023 ACC Women's Basketball Tip-Off, where we are just excited to talk and get to know the coaches, the players, recap what they have done in the previous season, but also get excited for what they're going to be prepared for and preparing for this season. So, of course, we have to start off. They say save the best for last, but I feel like at this case, we're just going to start right off the top because we know it's so hot as far as what you guys were able to do in last season, going to the Final Four, winning the ACC title for the first time in Hokie history, and just understanding what it means for you. So I'm Angel Gray, the moderator, Kenny Brooks, Virginia Tech head coach, Elizabeth Kitley, the two-time ACC Player of the Year, Georgia Amore, I don't even know where to begin, the Australian sensation, joining us today. So excited to have you guys. If you do have a question, please raise your hand. I'll just start off with a few to begin everything. But if you do have a question, we do have two lovely ladies at the ACC that have mics so we can hear your question clearly, and then we'll go from there. I know we only have space for two players up here, but I just want to make everyone aware that we also have Kayla King in the back. So we're excited to see your face as well, excited to see you on the floor this season. So we'll get things going. We talked about just how you guys were able to have a monstrous season in last year. A couple of the records, if we have time, just to go through it. Highest seed earned in the NCAA tournament, first ACC championship, longest ACC winning streak, the final 8 of the season, and then also most student athletes, the attendance at a game in Coach Brooks' era. And that's really exciting because when you look at the beginning of when you started there, the story has always been, if you build it, they will come. And so looking at now, how you guys, going back to last season, how you guys were able to have such a incredible year, but also see the fans and the community come behind you. Just recap what that has meant to you.
Well, the fans in the building, we've always said they can make a good team great. And the way the Hokie Nation came out and represented us, and we started slow when we were building it, I think 8 years ago, and to the point when we got our watch party, we had more people at our watch party this year than we probably did my first game that we had in Castle Coliseum. But you do have to build it, and you get tremendous players, tremendous people that represent your program, and then people will come out and they will support. And Hokie Nation has some of the best fans in the country. They're very loyal, and they come out. They've supported, and they've even supported after the season's been over. I think it's really hard for those two to go to Kroger's and just really have a peaceful afternoon or evening because everyone wants a part of them. But that's a great thing, and we're very proud of what we built there. Castle is a tremendous home court advantage, and we look to build on that.
So I would like to go to the players now, if you don't mind. Just for Elizabeth Kitley, deciding to come back, I don't know how long it took for you to make that decision, but what went into coming back, being able to build on this historic season that you guys just recently had?
Yeah, I think this time last year I was really like 50-50, not knowing what I wanted to do. But just the more time that passed in the season and the more I saw how lucky I was to be in the place that I am, it really became clear that another year here would benefit me and be the best for me. And just the opportunity to play with Georgia and to be coached by Coach Brooks and play with Kayla and play in front of Hokie Nation every night it's so fun and such a great opportunity that I think will benefit me in the long run, basketball and off the court.
Also, it's always lovely to see your family in the building as well, the good luck charm. Going back to your season, you don't become the two-time ACC Player of the Year for no reason, becoming the program's all-time leading scorer. You have over 2,000 points and then also over 1,000 rebounds. Just for you, what's the next step in your game?
Yeah, I think Coach Brooks and I have taken on that challenge. Obviously, I've been trying to be consistent over the last 3 years, but to further expand my game in ways that might not be so obvious. So we talk about outsmarting defenders more, making minor adjustments that will help me be more efficient, really just making things harder to guard at this level, but also preparing me for the next. And I'm really grateful that I have a coach that looks into the future and is looking to help me, not just for the benefits of him, but also for what's best for me.
What's best for you? I love that you talked about what he's been able to do as far as helping your game. We'll go to Georgia Amore because Coach Brooks has also coached some of two of the top three-point shooters in the country. You had Asia Shepherd, who was with your program. You just passed her record as far as most threes, and then also Dawn Evans while you were at JMU. But when you look at Georgia Amore, going to coach first, Georgia, what she has been able to do and how she has been able to just have these amazing moments within her career, passing Asia Shepherd in last season for threes.
You know, she's meant everything to us. Just her personality's transcended our program. She's a winner. She's a competitor. She's one of the hardest working kids in our program. So if everyone's looking up to her and they see what she does, they're only naturally they have to follow suit. And we follow her personality. We take on her personality, and the way that she has gained confidence over the years. Now she knows that when she walks out on the floor, she's one of the best players on the floor, and she proved that magnificent run that she had last year towards the end. And she took us all for a ride, and I love seeing her do that. Watching her play now, the confidence is through the roof. She'll be very humble when you probably talk to her in a second, but you know, we follow her lead. You know, and these two, and along with Kayla, you know, we feel like when we step on the floor, if I have those three, then we can beat anyone if we play well.
So now, Georgia Amore, when you stepped on the court, especially in the AC tournament, the MVP for the tournament, when you're seeing how people are praising you and you're just like, I'm just showing up. I think I asked you, can anybody guard you? And you're like, oh, I'm not sure. But when you are going into this season, how do you build on that? What are some of the things? A lot of people can see how you just have a gift of just putting the ball in the hoop. But what goes into being such a prolific scorer?
Yeah, I think just consistency and confidence. I think shooting is definitely more mental than anything, and I say this all the time, but coming into college, I was not a shooter. I was not preferred to shoot a three. Seriously, I think one of my teammates from Australia brought that up a few months ago, and I was reminiscing on that, because now it's like I feel not normal when I don't attempt a three in a game. But yeah, just consistent work over the off season, and I think, you know, going into last year's season, I was a bit complacent and trying to share the ball a bit more, which is still a huge part of my job, is to make everyone better. But I think going into this season, I know I have to be a threat, and I know I have to shoot. And Coach Brooks has placed stress on me that everything that I'm able to do comes from me being a threat from three. I can't be a good passer without being a threat. I can't drive without being a threat from three. So just remembering that is my number one priority, and keeping up with that is going to help me on every other aspect.
I also wanted to go back to just how we have one of the top 5 scoring duos in the country sitting next to us right now. So how you guys work off of one another. I know, Elizabeth, you mentioned just having her on the floor for you. What does that do for your game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, especially after the way she ended last season, people are going to be paying tons of attention to her. And when you pair that with shooters like Kayla King and our transfer from Michigan State, Matilda Eck, people are really going to have to press out, and that obviously just allows more room for me or our four to drive or whatever. We just have a lot more space on the inside, and that's definitely helpful. But Georgia just proved herself last year, and now people are going to have to adjust even more.
Yeah, there's no surprise as far as the Hokies in this season, especially coming back here to Charlotte when you play Iowa, another team that was with you guys in the Final Four. So, Georgia, what does that mean to you? And then also just what we can expect from this team in this season?
Yeah, it's massive. We're very excited. We talk about it all the time. Obviously, talk about the season too, but obviously the standout there is the Iowa here in Charlotte. But, you know, I think it's just huge for women's basketball, period. You have obviously big names playing. Caitlin Clark obviously draws so much attention, and as she should, she's absolutely phenomenal. But to play against her, and, you know, Iowa's also just played that outdoor game, and they're bringing so much attention. Like, it's just, the ball is rolling right now. It's a great time to hop on women's sports, and I think, you know, this year this team is going to put on a really good show for that. I think you're going to see a lot of offense, a lot of threes. I said this, I think, a couple of days ago. You know, we were a three-point team last year. Well, we've even stepped that up this year. As Liz said, we have Matilda Eck from Michigan State. She is phenomenal. She's automatic. It's insane. But, you know, we even have someone like Liv Sumiel from Wake Forest who can pick and pop. Obviously, we bring back Kayla, who's just incredible as well, our safety blanket. But, yeah, very exciting. The team is very much looking forward to it, and, yeah, it'll be a great game.
Coach, I want to go back to you because we mentioned just the one game that you guys have, but this season is going to be incredible as far as your schedule. What went into planning your schedule for non-conference?
Well, we wanted to challenge the group, and obviously understanding what it took last year to be a number one seed. That was new territory for us. For me, it was always just try to get in the tournament. I didn't care if we were a 19 seed. We just wanted to be in the tournament. And then last year, the benefits of being a number one seed and what came with it and the importance of it. So putting together a schedule that was going to prepare us, give us a chance to be able to be a number one seed or get the highest seed possible was very, very important. I don't really know if I wanted to play Iowa so early, but Danny Morrison came to me and it was talking about the game, and I just felt like it was going to be a tremendous opportunity for not only our program but for women's basketball in general. And so that came to, and we didn't have any say-so with the LSU game, but we'll go, we'll play it, and I think it will help us prepare for a very rigorous ACC schedule because we didn't really want to do too much outside of that because the ACC this year is just going to be ridiculous. So many great teams, so many veteran basketball teams, and all chasing the same goal. So we felt like our schedule, our non-conference schedule, was perfect for us. We only have 3 players coming back, albeit they're great players, but the other 9 have not played one game for me. Haven't called one timeout while they've been in a Hokie uniform. So it's going to be a challenge for us to put together a run. We can't look at what we did last year and say, hey, let's just do it again. I think that's a discredit to what we did last year and how hard it was. This is a new team, but we have tremendous possibilities, and we're looking to build on that, but it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, just going back to even what you were saying, the last year's season, winning 7 straight games against ranked opponents. You're making a name for yourself. Now it's keeping that name and understanding how to build on it. New roster, as you mentioned, lost 2 to the WBA, which we're very excited about in the ACC, but big shoes to fill. So if you can explain a little bit more about what this roster looks like, and I'm pretty sure defense is on there somewhere.
Yeah, defense is still a work in progress right now. We're trying to learn each other, but when you have the staple of these 3, they're like a little assistant coaches for me. And the way that they can go and pull some of the younger players, some of the more inexperienced players, really helps me out a lot because I don't always have to do it. The assistant coaches don't always have to do it. And these 3 are probably the 3 smartest players I've ever coached. And they understand me. They've been with me for 4.5 years. They understand our whole system. So we are new. 1 through 5, I don't know if you can compare our team last year because we were such a veteran group. They were very motivated. They started playing extremely well together. It was a magical run. This year, I think we will be deeper. I think we'll be deeper. I think we will have capabilities of more people being able to shoot the 3, as Georgia has alluded to with Kayla King in the back, who is, shooting the lights out right now. And Matilda Eck, if she does miss a shot, I'm wondering what is wrong with her. Is she sick or something? But then we have young players, freshmen, who are really stepping up, who are probably more ready than any freshman group that I've ever had. They just have the luxury to play behind such great players and learn. So it's going to be a really good team. We just have to try to put it together as quickly as we can with the chemistry. The only way you can get chemistry is you have to have experience with each other. And the Greece trip we had this summer was phenomenal. It really helped us push us forward a little bit. But we do have a tough schedule, but we really like who we are and what we can be, and we're excited for the year.
Awesome. I do have time for one question. Anyone have a question here? Raise your hand. We have time for one.
Good morning, Kenny. You talked before preseason practice started about you only trusted at that point 3 players on the team, and you needed to build trust during the preseason. Who have you kind of figured out that you can trust?
Well, I think we mentioned Matilda Eck a few times. She really fits who we are and what we do. Very, very smart player. Understands the system and is getting in shape for us. Early on, she wasn't in shape. She didn't have much of a postseason, but she's a very smart kid. Passes the ball well, shoots the ball well, learning how to defend in our system. Rose Michel is missing piece that we needed when we lost Taylor Soule. Strong, athletic, understanding our system now, and getting better and better and better. And then we have quite a few freshmen. We have quite a few freshmen that are doing a wonderful job of just trying to find their place. And Karis Baker is a tremendous shooter. Clara Strack, she's the baby of our group. But she's playing exceptionally well right now, and just really adding some depth in the back court for us, front court for us. And so I'm excited about what their possibilities can be, but it's a really good group.
All right, thank you so much for your time, ladies. Georgia A. Moore, Elizabeth Kitley, and Kenny Brooks. Best of luck this season.
Thank
you.
you.